Tony, let's hit it.
The motel writer's fault.
Amen.
Somebody else's fault.
Lady car ride in front of them. I was gonna say, you look like.
We all set? You got video as well as audio? Okay, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this is a meeting of the Board of Selectmen for September 6, 2016. Are there other items that members of the board would request be added to the agenda? And I would like to propose that we add a request that we received from a town employee as far as an exit interview goes. So I'd like to add that to the agenda. Is there anything else that people wish to add?
Just just the status of the prosecutor's contract renewal, which is due up at the end of this month.
I think that's item number 3 under business.
Okay. Good.
Anything else?
Nope.
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on then. Public input will occur no earlier than 6:10. So the first item on the under business is union grievance. The Board of Selectmen have been given a grievance from the police department union. And the question in front of the board is as to whether we will hear the grievance. So I'll make a motion that the Board of Selectmen will hear the grievance. Do we have to have a date assigned to that? Or, because that can be done?
No, you can just, you're deciding whether you're going to hold a hearing or issue a written decision.
So I will make a motion that the Board of Selectmen hold a hearing on the union grievance. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 4-0-0. And just let the record also reflect that Mr. Lemire is absent and is excused. The next item that I want to cover on this is a possible hearing date for this, because we've got to get this straightened out. Troy, can you go over what the available hearing dates would be for the hearing this grievance?
So, in my discussions with our legal counsel, who's indicated that she'd like to be present when the hearing's conducted, she was available. She's on vacation next week, and so that's why we're not looking at dates next week. But her availability was the 20th of September, the 21st, and 22nd. I was looking to get some feedback from the selectmen as to the availability of everyone for the 22nd. That doesn't look like that date's going to work well. So it leaves us with September 21st, the 20th, or the 21st. The 20th, there's a planning board meeting that evening, and the 21st, we have a budget meeting. So we could consider on the 20th, maybe conducting a meeting at a different location or working more with the planning board to see if they're going to have a meeting. I don't think we could piggyback the hearing on our budget meeting. It'd be too much in one night.
So can I make a suggestion that this is really going to require 2 meetings? One meeting to hear the grievance, and then the next time we would meet would be to decide the position of the board on the grievance. Would it make sense to do it on the evening of the 20th and then potentially make a decision on the evening of the 21st, as we're going to be meeting anyways?
That works for me.
Yeah, I'm fine
Have
with
a meeting on the 21st.
We have a meeting on the 21st, which was originally set for a budget meeting on that date. We were going to, we had one budget meeting that we were going to do, which was an off day to get through the budget.
I had the 14th. That's why I'm asking.
No, it was the 21st you guys had decided
I
on.
thought we did the 21st.
Yeah, I think so too.
Then,
We
that's
did
fine.
discuss the
That's fine.
we did discuss
Yeah.
the 14th, you're right.
Okay,
Yeah, so you're not totally crazy.
I'll change it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. So on 9/12, next Monday night, we're doing the 3 big departments: highway, fire, police. we were going to do it on the 14th, but there was too many conflicts. So then we agreed to go with 9/21, which is going to be more of the boards and committees. Planning board, zoning board, mosquito, library, parks and rec, that type.
So does the 20th, excuse me, Steve, the 20th work for you?
The 20th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can make that work.
Is a particular time better? I know you got a conflict early in the evening.
Typically, let me know in the planning board meeting, but
Well, I think the only thing we're gonna have to do, Troy was suggesting that the planning board had a meeting that night, so we may have to switch rooms, right? Either us or the planning board switch rooms. And
either that or if we do it at 6, planning board doesn't start till 7.
that's fine, but
Just wondering if we can get through I think you could get through the hearing in 1 hour, because it's going to be really the union's time to just provide the background as to why they're filing the grievance, what they'd like to see to be made whole. We have some questions we'll ask. You close the hearing, and
If you want, we can even do it 5:30. I got enough advance, I can make that happen.
you good with 5:30? John, you okay with 5:30?
On the 20th?
Yeah. Kevin,
Oh, actually, I'm good.
We're gonna do it.
you can do it? Okay, so, Troy, let's put together an official notice that the hearing will be the 20th at 5:30 PM, and you wanna do it here at Town Hall?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
We'll be here in the
we
select
we'll need to make sure that the union can be available. Hopefully they can be available that night. And just so you know, the union has approached me, and if for whatever reason we have a conflict with the 20th, they have indicated that they'd be willing to extend the time limits so we can accommodate everyone's schedule. So, but I've informed them. I know that Chairman Byron's going to be away starting September the 26th, and you're gone for a couple weeks. So I'd like to get the hearing
Actually,
over.
27th, yeah.
Okay. I know we'd like to get the hearing over and done with before.
Right.
We don't want to get out into mid-October. So
So, let's plan on 5:30 on the 20th, and if
Do
we
you
can
need me for
officially.
that, or is that a private?
all indications so far is that legal counsel has advised us that this is a public meeting because we're not talking about any individual issues here. It's more about an accounting issue of how the town manages the special detail revolving fund, and I think they disagree with some of the policies, the
Well,
accounting policies we have.
Let's not get into,
Yeah.
Just,
Right.
it's either public or not public, and it's a public meeting, right? From what
That's
you
correct.
understand, correct? Okay. So 5:30 on the 20th then? That's fine. Okay, and if we can send a formal letter to the union, or get one drafted, notifying of the date and time, I think that would finish that off. Okay, the next item on the agenda is workers' compensation CAP agreement. Troy?
All right, we had one of these agreements in place when we made the change last year from the property liability trust to Primex for our property liability insurance coverage. But now that we're changing,
Excuse me one second. Tony?
Yeah.
Just to let you know, we're getting, looks like test patterns up there. I don't know if that's meaningful or not, but I just thought I'd let you know that.
Looks like it's going in and out, yeah.
But we're recording, so it shouldn't be a problem. The recording should still happen though.
Okay. Thanks. Sorry, Troy, go ahead.
all right, so we've changed the policy. We're in a 6-month policy right now, so we're going to have a new renewal rate of January 1st. What this program is, because we participate in workers' compensation and property liability, they offer, as long as we commit to 3 years, they offer a cap of no more than 9% per year in overall increase of your workers' comp and property liability.
But if it's a lower.
If it's
value,
lower,
We get that lower value.
you get the
right?
lower value, but and it's really, primarily what this is your workers' comp, because those rates, you could have some injuries that could cause a spike. So at the very least, you're capping your exposure to no more than 9%.
So that even includes if we had an injury then?
That's correct.
Okay.
And how long have we been with Primex?
Well, workers' comp, you've been with them
Forever, right?
forever.
And we've done
But
this
you had your
before.
property,
I know we have.
yeah,
So what's
so
the-
your
there's
property
no-
liability, we've just made the switch.
What's the history in the past that we've gone up year to year? 9% seems like a lot to me.
Well, it doesn't mean we're gonna go up 9%, it just means that's the max that you can
Yeah,
go.
but now you're gonna guarantee 3 years. If we've never gone up 9% before in the last 10, 15,
Sure.
20 years,
Yeah.
why bother?
Well, I agree.
It's just, that you could have the exposure, of a double-digit increase.
Now, let me ask you another dumb question. Is there other opportunities for workers' comp to purchase that?
Oh, there is, yeah.
And that would be from?
The only public risk pool is Primex. You'd go out to the, private industry.
Didn't we look, I thought we looked at that at one point too, that was more cost effective to stay with the.
With Primex, right? Yeah.
I think it makes sense because we've done this before. It's worked out fine, I think. I do understand that workers' comp was going up at a tremendous level at one point. I don't know if that's changed. I think there was some bills that came through the New Hampshire legislature that we were trying to address that, but what's the will of the board?
Without the history, I don't know that I know that it's necessary.
Do we know what the last cap was we signed up for? Was it 9% too?
I wanna say, not in this town, but it's, I was in the Primex and other communities, and the cap, I thought, last time I renewed was 8%.
He doesn't know what the value is. In other words, the past couple of years. What do we pay currently?
For workers' compensation? Probably what would be 60,000 a year?
No, but what percent, you know?
I don't know the percent.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 9, I think is what you're asking.
Well, in other words, we know, we're paying 60,000 a year, but if you're saying going up 9%, is the max.
I can open up the budget and see. Maybe it's the property liability that's, workers' compensation proposed this year is 57,000.
Okay.
So it's right around, $57,000-$60,000 a year. Well, that number, actually. The actual contribution for 2016 was $71,956. However, we had some credits and some holiday premiums that reduced that down to 57, so say about 70,000. You can be anywhere from 70 to 80,000 a year for workers' comp.
Does the board wish to take any action on this? Yes or no? No?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on then, municipal prosecutors agreement. Troy? I tried to open up the link to this and there's nothing there.
That was really my question originally, because I didn't see it on the agenda at all, even the agenda was blank, but now it's there. And there
I
is no
just,
file.
I received an email. And so I just wanted to know how you want to go ahead, and the prosecutor's contract expires the end of this month. It looks like he's asking for an increase in his salary, but he also looking to add some paid holidays, and he wants to reduce his work week as well. So, a few things going on here, and I didn't know if there's a selectman that wants to, meet with me, and we meet with the prosecutor and go through his proposal, and,
He's asking for an increase in his pay, asking for holiday coverage, but he's a contractor, he's not an employee.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, he gets a flat rate as it is.
And since when does the court hold?
Yeah, court on holidays.
No, I understand that. Did he actually provide a contract? Because usually it's just he gives us a contract with some red lines and,
He didn't, he just sent an email, but
So
I can ask him to
I'll make a motion.
send a red line.
I'll make a motion to have the town administrator meet with the prosecutor and go through what the issues are and come back to the board with the proposed,
Red line,
with a red line contract. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yep.
okay.
Is there a second to the motion?
second, yeah.
Second by Selectman Bork. Discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 4-0. Next item is that okay with you, Troy?
Yeah, that's fine.
May I, just one comment though, if for some reason this contract gets extended out, should we make sure it's clear that he still works and gets a current rate until he resolve the contract?
Yeah, I'll talk to him, and
We agree with an extension,
Well,
'cause-
we've got 2 meetings before,
yeah, that's true too.
so,
I
yeah,
just don't wanna have all of a sudden he thinks on the 30th he's no longer our prosecutor, cause we
Right.
haven't got through a
Yeah.
contract negotiation.
yeah, so we've got a meeting on the 21st,
The 21st, yeah.
well, 20th, 21st. If we wanted to take an action on the 20th, we could do that.
Okay.
But there's also a meeting on the 29th, I think, as well, right?
Yes, that won't be our official meeting, right?
Okay. The next item, we'll go back, take in public input. As there are no members of the public here, we'll close out public input. The last item, which was added to the agenda, is a request from an employee to have an exit interview. Troy, you had found or looked up something in terms of exit interviews for town employees?
Yeah, we have in our employee personnel manual, there is a section that discusses exit interviews, and it basically states that employees who resign from employment with the town may be asked to participate in an exit interview by the department head, the town administrator, or the chair of the Board of Selectmen. So the policy itself is written as if, the department head, town administrator, chair of the board would request an exit interview. In this case, you've been asked by an employee to participate in an exit interview with them.
What's the thinking of the board?
We've been down this road before, and we have not done the exit interview, because it's up to the department head to do it, and we agreed that department was responsible for doing it. That at least has been the past practice. Let's see why we would change.
The question I have would be is if we perform the exit interview, it would be in non-public, correct? Because it would be likely that names could be brought up.
It would have to be, I think.
I don't think there's any exception for us to have an exit interview as a board, as a full board, in non-public. I don't know of any RSA we could use for that.
I think that's, if you did an exit interview,
And that would be.
I would
different
follow the
than-
personnel policy. I would just have one selectman meet with this individual and conduct the interview.
Okay, so
Or
I
the
don't see
town
why we
administrator.
wouldn't do that if that's the case, but I feel as though the case would be that he would want to have it with everyone. So,
But it's.
I don't have a problem with it either way, because
But
it is what it is.
But don't we agree that the exit interview should be executed by the department head? That's the department he's resigning from.
Well, you think if he would resign, he would have sat down and
You would think so.
Well,
you would have thought, you know what I mean?
My understanding on this is that there has been no discussion with the chief. on this. My understanding is also that he submitted his pager, I guess, which is part of his equipment, and gave that to the captain, Nickel, and ended up expressing his opinion that he was resigning from the force, and that was it. And from my understanding, there has been no information or no written confirmation, and apparently, from what I also understand, the next day at a fire, he did attend as a firefighter, so.
We allow, well, unfortunately, I mean,
I-
the need was there, but we would allow someone who resigned from the department at that time to respond?
Look, I can't answer your question, John, on that one, you know.
That just seems weird.
I wasn't there, so
I question the
couldn't tell you.
participation part, but,
What I was told.
okay.
Now, maybe I have my sequence of events wrong, but that's what I understood to be the case.
I can really go either way on this. I don't have a problem
Well, the other option
granting
is,
an exit interview. I don't have a problem not granting an exit interview if that's the way you guys feel. I don't think it's a big deal either way. If he really wants to talk to the whole board, we have to express to him that he's gotta come in here and do it.
right,
But through public input.
Yeah, but unfortunately, in public input, how do we control the other personnel issues that may come up, or comments or slander that may happen during that conversation? This is why we didn't wanna do it last time.
Which is the reason why I recommend that we do the exit interview, but that's what I was told we don't do.
I think we should simply follow, as Troy said, the personnel policy manual. Exit interviews, according to the policy manual, are given by either the department head, town administrator, or an individual selectman.
Yeah, it's not required.
So do we ask,
It's not required.
It's not
but do we
required.
ask the department head to do an exit interview with this individual and detail the concerns that he wants to raise, or non-concerns he wants to raise? We don't know what his issues are, if there are issues.
Wouldn't your expectations be that the request came to us because he didn't wanna have it with his former department head?
Again, this is why we didn't do it before.
I mean, I can only so assume.
But this is why we didn't do it before, because there were changes occurring in the department that people didn't agree with. And because they didn't agree with, they wanted to have a grievance.
And it'll always be that way.
Right.
I don't know, I'm one of those people that sits there and says, I'm here to serve the people. And if the people is somebody that's a disgruntled employee and he wants to vent, I'd let him vent.
Well, my feeling is we should probably follow the policy manual, and if that's the case, I would suggest that we have it with the town administrator as an exit interview. If he doesn't wanna have it, with his department head.
Okay.
Anybody,
I just question to what's the outcome gonna happen, right? What's the value?
well, I can't answer that without knowing what the issues are.
I just remember sitting here before having the same type of act.
And you're not gonna know unless you listen.
I know, but we're down the same token. It was perception, it was people's differences in opinion. It
So what do you
doesn't matter.
wanna do?
I'm not in support of it. I think if the department head wants to do it, then the
Make a
department should do
motion.
it.
What motion would you make?
I make a motion that we request that the department head reach out and do the exit interview. Let the department deal with the issue.
Okay, is there a second to the motion? I'll second the motion. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstain?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-1-1. So I'll send an email to him, or response to his email suggesting to the exit interview per the policy manual would be conducted with the department head. And I'm guessing we'll be back here again at some future date,
Sure.
so we'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes.
Okay, the only other thing I wanted to ask is, does this board need to take an action, and should we do it tonight, on the appointment of Captain Nichols to the deputy chief position?
To the promotion,
When was it gonna be effective? Wasn't it October?
October 1st, I think. Right.
Yeah.
It was
Um,
October.
Right.
I don't know.
rather if we invited him in
Yeah.
to do it.
I've had a discussion with the chief, and the chief was talking about sometime in the month of October, having a pinning ceremony in front of the Board of Selectmen, if that's what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I think he's.
I'm just trying to make, I'll call it the paperwork
Yep, no, I get it.
square, that's all I'm talking of doing.
So during our discussion, didn't we already?
I was just
accept-
gonna say that,
I thought we already did, so.
because
this is-
he made that offer to Doug.
We made a motion, and I think this is now public, right? We made a motion to have him go ahead and discuss it with Doug, because we didn't want to make a formal vote in public session.
So didn't we give him the authority to do such?
Yep.
That excludes us?
I think the easiest way to, on Monday's agenda, we'll get the appointment form, and
Fair enough?
we can have that document that we sign, and I'll find out what the effective date is, and
My view of what we did was simply allow the chief to go and have a
To
discussion,
move forward with our support.
and knowing that we would not be opposed to that. But we didn't vote anyways, that's fine. Anything else on the agenda that we need to cover, any other items we need to cover? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a motion, and we have a second by Selectman Bork, motion by Selectman Brunel. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 4-0-0.